For more analysis, we're joined from Kiev by Alexei Milnik, former Ukrainian Deputy Foreign Minister, and from Washington by Ginger Chapman, lawyer and political analyst. Welcome to Q News. I would start with you, Ms. Chapman. After 5 hours of talks in Moscow with no breakthrough, what are the main obstacles preventing a U.S. brokered peace deal?
Well, first, Hala, it's a pleasure to be with you today, and greetings to your viewers and your guest from Kiev.
Thank you.
And we have seen that with negotiations, both sides have moved further apart. We've seen Zelensky dig in, say no territorial concessions. Zelensky wants the 300 billion euros in frozen Russian funds. We also see that Europe is more determined to keep the war going. In fact, we've seen Kaja Kallas out of Estonia talk about keeping, essentially about trying to unfreeze the funds, that they will not agree to any concessions. They need to be at the table. And from the American point of view, America is in a bit of a disarray also, and this is evidenced by Trump sending Witkoff and Kushner rather than sending Rubio. We've seen over the past few weeks that Rubio tends to be more aligned with the European position. General Keith Kellogg was also aligned with the European position. He leaked the 28-point plan. So now Trump has sidelined Rubio and has gotten rid of General Kellogg altogether. So Trump has sent in his heavy hitters, his personal envoy Witkoff, and he sent in Kushner. It's believed that Kushner was at the meeting in Miami in order to keep an eye on Rubio and report back to Trump what Rubio was doing in the meetings. We saw after that meeting, Rubio appeared very angry. He said, there was a lot of work to do, a lot of moving parts. We still need to get Russia's agreement. So at the end of the Miami meeting, Rubio appeared as though very little progress had been made. Now we see at the end of the meeting with Witkoff and Putin in Russia, again, it appears there's no forward movement on territorial concessions, on rebuilding Ukraine. And part of this is also because for President Trump, his greatest fears are twofold. First, as we've seen from his press conferences, his greatest fear is that he will be blamed for Ukraine losing the war in Ukraine. He does not want to be blamed for the failure. And at the same time, a more emergent pressing issue is Trump wants to separate Russia from China. The longer the war in Ukraine goes on, the closer Russia and China get. Trump wants to break that axis now. And once again, there's been no progress. Other alarming developments were a couple of days ago. The NATO High Command said that NATO may take preemptive strikes. They believe that Russia is engaging in cyber attacks. So Europe is saying they may take preemptive strikes, and their goal is to keep the war going. They need to hide the financial decline in their countries. They need something to quell the populist anger at their leaders because of the declining economies in the E3. So rather than making progress, we appear to be even further spread apart. The two sides are now further apart than they were before. And so essentially, it does not look as though we're making much progress in talks. Are we going to have a frozen conflict? Will Europe escalate? We know Putin said if Europe escalates, the war will be over very quickly because Putin will not be as restrained with Europe